Hello again, and this is Marky Mark. Welcome to Diablo 2 Resurrected, the Reign of the Warlock Ultimate Beginner Young Player's Guide. So we just made Attack 2. I think I'm going to have to start naming or referencing my videos different, because we already did like 6 main parts for the 6 quests in Act 1. I think just going 7, 8, 9, 10 up to whatever is just going to get kind of crazy. So I might go back and split them up into parts by act. So I guess we'll have like Act 1, Part 1, Act 2, Part 1, stuff like that. I can go back and edit that and rename that. But anyways, one of the first things you want to do when you get to Act 2, besides, take care of your potions and all that, well, first I'm going to turn the map back on because it always cuts off when you switch acts. That's by pressing the minus button next to the left joystick. I'm gonna revive my mercenary, and I'm actually gonna switch to the Act 2 mercenary. So that we don't need that bow. I'll just let that disappear. The helmet, maybe I'll just let that disappear. I'll take this armor though. Actually, let's take that helmet. The shop might not have much better. All right, and the bow, we'll just let that disappear. Probably don't sell for a whole lot of gold. We're gonna hire one. I'm gonna go with the prayer mercenary follower, which has the little symbol there with the two hands kind of put together like you're praying. We'll just go with that one. Prayer, right now level 3, heals like 4 life every second. Says mana cost 1.3 per second, but mercenaries and followers don't actually have mana. They basically have infinite mana. But the rate at which they use certain skills, like jab, I guess varies on the level of the follower or mercenary. Because, with infinite mana, you could just use jab all the time. But I guess that's based on the mercenary's level. So I found a rare trident from Andariel, but I actually think I'm going to put this Valge on. It's a bit better damage, and it has lifesteal, which is good for a follower, especially once you get a little bit farther into Act 2 and Act 3. And I'll just use that armor and that helmet that was on my previous mercenary. Andariel also dropped a nice little diamond. Not a chipped, not a flawed. I'm going to toss that in my shield. And if I look at my resistances now, my boots give me a ton of fire resistance. I actually have above 75, which is the basic cap on resistances unless you increase the cap. And almost got 70 lightning. I got 70 poison. Cold's a little bit low. Maybe I'll save this slot for a better sapphire to put in there for cold resistance. Still got the same helmet. Switch over to that armor that was in my stash in one of the videos that gets cold resistance. Switch my amulet to this nice little lightning resistance cast rate amulet. And I also have that cast rate ring I put on and that cast rate ring I put on. Still using a basic belt, which now that you're in Act 2, you can probably just have a lot easier time buying one of these. I did buy mine in Act 1, but usually they don't show up in Act 1. I think it's like a very low chance of them showing up in Act 1. You also have to be a pretty decent level, I guess, for it to show up. And there's the rare gloves I got from Andariel. And yep, there's the weapon I was using. 4 mana after each kill, 2 to Nova. So yeah, we're good on gear. Already bought potions, already stocked up on keys and scrolls. I think we're ready for the first quest. So to get the first quest in Act 2, it's kind of a standalone quest. You can kind of do it, and it's not really kind of tied to a lot of the other quests. Talk to Atma. She'll give you the first quest. Find Radamant's Lair and the Luke Lane sewers. So before I do that, I just want to point out one thing. I happen to see this 3-socket armor in the shop. I'm going to buy that. Well, without going into too much detail why, once you get to Act 3, I believe most of the items in the shop are going to be blue items, which means they're not going to have sockets typically. So I can use this to put runes in it and make a fancy rune word. Also, a 2-socket armor might be good too. But since rather than leave town, come back to town, try to find one of these, I'm just going to buy one now for later. Actually, I'll just put it maybe in her stash. And yeah, so as far as the sewers go, you can either, and I think I showed this in some other video, you could go in here, or you could go in down here. Typically, the way the map is, going up there will just take a bit longer to get to level 2, but there'll be more monsters to kill. I'm just going to go down here so I can hopefully reach level 2 faster. And yeah, now I have a mercenary that goes up close in fights, so the monsters aren't going to go after me as much now. Oh, look at that. Called it. There's level 2. And now we got to find a waypoint on level 2. We have less maximum mana now since I took off that armor. Got a level. Yeah, Turin's real good beginning of the game for a sorceress. Once you find some of those, just kill monsters and you get more mana. And my mercenary has not turned on prayer yet. Once prayer comes on, then I'll start healing automatically because it's an aura. Mana shrine. Yep, and then I guess after I shoot this video, I might kind of go on a side project and maybe shoot 1 or 2 videos of something else that's not this sorceress playing through the game. And then probably finish all my uploads. If not today, which is kind of Sunday night right now, definitely tomorrow on Monday. And then, go back, fill out the descriptions and all that, and then make them public. I do kind of want to, I guess the one video I do want to shoot before the end of the night, and then before it's, bedtime. Oh, I can see the next level over there. I do kind of want to do, back before last spring, before Reign of the Warlock came out this year, I did some budget ladder videos of other characters. Kind of want to revisit the Frost Maiden, kind of like a budget Frost Maiden, because I have a pretty high level Frost Maiden now, which Frost Maiden is basically a bow Amazon that uses freezing arrow. Super fun. So maybe I'll throw up a video of that, which there are videos of that I already put up last spring or whatever. Budget ladder versions. But I did convert that character over to Reign of the Warlock, and maybe we'll shoot a video of that. Here's the waypoint. Nope, guess not. Waypoint over here, maybe? Smoke sphere. Definitely pick that up. Yeah, I'm like pretty effective now. Now that I got this. Oh, prayer hour is on now. Now I'm just going to heal. So that's less healing potions I'm going to need to use. I will pick up this antidote potion. Throw it on my belt. If my mercenary gets poisoned, I can use it on him so he don't die, maybe. But yeah, prayer aura is a pretty good counter to being poisoned. You're going to lose life and heal life at the same time. And the other 2 auras, I guess I didn't talk about those. The one is Blessed Aim. It helps increase your chance of hitting the monsters if you're using physical or bow attacks. And then, what was the other one? Defiance Aura, which increases your defense. which makes it harder for monsters to hit you with physical attacks. But yeah, my gear is pretty good now. I'm not sure at what point on venturing through the game with this character I'm going to have to tone down my gear for, like a beginner player that doesn't have access to a lot of gear. Maybe we'll come up with some good budget options, which is kind of my favorite way to do these videos. Nice little budget characters, which is kind of good in single player because, the monsters have less life in single player. But if you're playing with your friends or whatever, then they're also going to be able to help you kill the monsters. So your gear doesn't have to be super good if you're in a party. And not only that, but I guess Nintendo Switch is only maximum of 4 players, so the difficulty only goes so high. The monsters are not going to get that much HP and damage. Just one of the things I like about it. It lets me kind of try some different things since I don't have to always do the strongest options for skills and gear and stuff like that. Which is one of the things I want to show on the Frost Maiden. Because for my armor, I'm using a janky little armor on there that gives like 65% faster run walk. So my character just like runs super fast, which is kind of cool. I'm going to static field this guy and then shoot him. Yeah, he's actually super hard. Alright, so I killed him. The mercenary is poisoned. That's like super poison from that guy. So I'm going to use the antidote potion on him. Even though it looks like the prayer is kind of keeping him. Okay, yeah, wore off and the prayer healed him. Future difficulties, that poison can definitely kill your mercenary before you go back to town. But I didn't have to worry about that this time. Alright, let's go complete the quest. Which, fun fact, I picked up that book of skill. But completing the quest, she says she gives you a reward. So the book of skill is actually not the reward. Talking to her, she gives you her gratitude by talking to the townspeople. And now the merchants will sell you stuff at lower rates. So that's the actual reward. This book of skills just dropped by the boss. And you use that, you get a skill point. I got 2 skill points now. Let's just throw them both into lightning. And I did get a level. We'll go vitality again. And quest log. First quest complete. And did I get anything cool? I got a smoke sphere. Let's identify that, see, before we end the video. No, nothing important. Alright, we'll sell that. Also got a charm. 6 life. That's a keeper. And yep, thanks for watching. Act 2, Part 1.